Hey guys, welcome back to D&D with Filthy and Friends. Our one-off with Mr. DolphinChemist. Quick recap of last episode. Our party of excited, expectant dinosaur riders showed up to our first day of riding dinosaurs to find our dinosaur dead. This has left some of us in less of a great mood than we might otherwise have been in such a situation. And we're now doing our best to figure out what the hell's happened. Meanwhile, we've run into Bear and his group of thugs here. And we're going to figure out kind of what we have to do to get our bling back. So that's kind of what this one's about, I think. So you can pick it up from there, Steve?
All right. So, yeah, when we left off, Bear was grabbing Win Chi. There's an attempt to grapple.
Even though I came there picking a fight, he gets around a surprise on me?
Yeah, it's unfair. This one's not fair.
I see how that goes. Okay.
The fight begins with Bear trying to grapple Win Chi.
All right. Do you want us to roll initiative?
Yes, you guys can roll initiative. Bear versus Win Chi is a opposed strength roll. Is that correct?
If you're trying to grapple him, he gets acrobatics or athletics to contest your athletics.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
That's initiative. That's okay, Kevin. That's not your contested thing yet.
I understand. I just, being super fast and a 4 initiative is the saddest thing ever.
Okay.
All right. So you want me to roll my acrobatics now?
Yep. You're being grappled.
I'm just trying to work out why I can't have their names show up, but whatever.
What the hell?
All right. What's a tie?
Means I win. Fuck you, man.
I think I don't know. With initiative ties, it's broken by the highest stat that's in use.
I think he's talking about the dice roll, because the dice roll is a tie.
Yeah.
The grapple is successful because it's just like armor. You just make the number and you do it, and the initiatives are the dex are tiebreakers.
Okay. So he fails then his ability to break out, so he's grappled.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
So Win Chi is grappled. And the combat will begin with Bear attempting to shove him prone.
You want to sort the combat order for us?
I sorted descending.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. No. Oh, you worked out how to put your... That's impressive, Dolphin. Okay. All right.
You have to click your token.
Somebody should have told you how to do that.
Yeah,
but you worked it out on your own. All right. Bear will attempt to push Win Chi prone, which is, again, a strength versus acrobatics, is it?
Don't know what that one. Adam, do you know?
I presume it would be again, yeah. Unless it says something different on the actual attack of the character.
Yeah.
All right.
They might. I think I don't know whether the grapple target would be at some sort of disadvantage because they're already grappled, or maybe the DC is higher because they're already grappled.
Is this the feat?
I don't believe so.
Is this the brawler feat, or whatever the hell it's called? Doesn't matter. Okay, so we're just.
Bear doesn't have feats.
Okay.
So you need me to contest it again?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here you go. Sally linked it.
Strength contested by athletics or acrobatics. Yep. Okay, that's what I thought. So he's trying to knock you prone.
Okay. He fails.
Woof. All right. So Bear is like, he's got his huge arms around you, and he's trying to like force you onto the ground so he can just. But you're just sort of like able to twist your body to like sort of create tension with the ground or leverage with the ground and keep yourself upright. All right. Duelist, is your turn.
Okay.
So, do you know D&D combat? You get a move action and attack action.
I don't know D&D combat.
It's the basic stuff.
Sure, yeah. Well, I think it would make sense to maybe take a few steps back, try to get some distance between me and the action right now. So move maybe back 15 feet or so, something like that. So I'm not so far back that I don't have a clean shot on most of them.
Trees in this game are like XCOM trees. They'll give you cover against range attacks, and you can lean out if you're on that tile. Yeah, so
got it.
They
So
will
I'll
block line of sight, but you can lean.
I'll go ahead and do 1, 2. Yeah, we'll do something like that. And can I do I have an ability called Pushing Attack. And am I able to use that on Pointy?
You use it on who? Sorry.
Sorry, what were the 3 characters?
Okay, you
This
weren't looking
guy's
for
name
Winchi.
is Pointy.
Okay.
Yeah, Pointy. Yeah, Pointy.
You can use it. You get to decide once you made your attack roll and see if you hit him or not. If you hit him, you can add that if you want, optionally at that point to try to push him.
Okay, got it.
Although, thought-wise, I don't know, pushing bear does seem kind of questionable. But if you can push bear, it will break his grapple on Winchi, for example.
Okay, yeah. Well, I thought he broke the grapple with the roll, but if he hasn't broken the grapple, then yeah, I would use the Pushing Attack on bear. Yeah, I thought we'd broken the grapple.
He hasn't broken the grapple yet.
Oh yeah, if he hasn't broken it, then I'll just go ahead and I'll definitely push bear.
All right, so he's making an attack. It sounds like Steve against bear. Do you want to walk him through, or do you want me to?
So on your character sheet, you should have your weapon. All you got to do is click it and say normal attack.
Okay.
Trying to beat a 15. So that one misses.
Okay, that one misses.
Okay.
And unless you have some sort of bonus action to do, that's probably your turn.
Well, he as a fighter has the ability to action surge if he wants to, and an action surge will give him a second attack. It's a once per short rest ability. So if you're feeling like this is a critical moment or this is something you want to do, you have that option available to you.
I mean, it's the first round, so I figure this is probably the best time to use it.
All right.
Let's try to get bear off him.
Okay.
So I'll take one more action. I'll take another shot at bear.
Yep.
Okay, I'll roll.
That's better.
All right, so that definitely hits.
Okay. And then I'll choose to use the pushing attack.
Okay.
So I don't know how
roll for
pushing
that?
attack works, Filthy.
He can link it.
Let's see.
Just click on the little speech bubble
There you
next
go.
to where you copied it in. Yeah.
You can expend one.
Okay. And if the target is larger or smaller?
Is large or smaller.
Oh, large or
So-
smaller. Okay, good. Okay.
Air is medium, so
Okay.
it's smaller than large.
So you need to roll damage on the longbow, and then
Sure.
damage on the pushing attack.
To roll damage on the longbow, you just click the longbow name in the chat box.
Yep.
So you got like 22 in
Yeah,
longbow. You click on longbow.
All right.
Roll 5 damage to bear.
Okay.
Then you need to roll. I think your superiority dice at this level are d8s, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So you roll 1d8 and extra damage from using the superiority dice.
Okay. Do I have to type that out or? Okay. RD8, and then is that it?
Yep. Okay, so another 4.
Alright.
And then he has
Cool.
to make a save against your DC. And your DC is what?
No, isn't it only if it's larger or smaller?
No, but
It must
large
make a
or
strength
smaller.
throw.
That's what we were just talking about.
My DC is
Oh,
13.
sorry, right, smaller. Yeah.
So 13 succeeds?
Just.
Just
Yeah,
like armor.
We're
Okay.
just
You make
rolling
it.
nothing but ties today? Alright.
Right.
Okay. So still additional
So
damage.
Bear definitely notices that he now has an arrow in him. However, he has more pressing concerns, such as pressing when she's head through the pavement.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
I think
And
he's
it's
made
rarely
a serious mistake, probably.
How do I change whose turn it is?
You move.
Just
the
click
arrow.
the little arrow.
It will move the turn order forward.
Okay.
Okay. I am going to bonus action turn into a animal. I'm going to turn into a dire wolf, I think. And then I'm going to
This is in broad daylight in a very busy city district, and the people around are running and screaming with a lot of noise. This is not normal for them.
I'm literally a fucking lizard man. I don't give a shit what they're doing. I don't understand why all the little packs of meat are making, loud noises in the background. I assume this means that they're wanting me to select them, but I've got someone I'm selected, so they'll have to wait. So I will move to here, and
That's
I will
beautiful.
swing at,
I have food. Eat me.
and I will go after bear as well. And let me just pull that up. Actually, can I get 20 foot? I need a 20-foot run on somebody. Can I do that if I'm like from here?
This isn't properly to scale, so yeah, you can get a 20-foot run.
Okay, cool. Then I'll switch to some slightly different form. Let me just grab the information on it. It's a little bit hard to do forms in Roll20 from what I found so far. But What I want to do is I want to change into a tiger, not a direwolf. And I will grab the, because I can get that from here. Okay, that's up. And what I want to do is make a pounce on him. So if I move at least 20 feet towards a character, and I can hit it. So let's see if I hit it. So I'll make a claw attack on him. And the claw attack is, I assumed it would be linked here. And is not linked here. Awesome. Okay, then I'll roll it. It's a +5 melee attack, and I assume it's strength for a tiger. And this doesn't give me the stat block. Yes, it does. Okay. 3. All right. Sorry, this is my first time with that.
Oh my god, is that a tiger?
All right. Does a 14 hit?
It does not.
Does not hit. Fuck. Okay. Then I'm all set.
All right, Raynor.
Sweet. And who'd you attack?
I attack bear.
How can I run in and tank if you're standing in the way now?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
I can't
That's
talk.
You can
I'm-
move
I'm a
through the
tiger.
tree. It's difficult
You're a
terrain.
tiger.
I can't.
I can
talk.
go through. I can go through the tree.
Yeah, it's difficult terrain, but you can go through it.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Raynor will. He has a long sword and a shield, and he will raise up his sword in the air, and he will say, "You scoundrels have no honor. Will die by Tempos' mighty blade." And he will bonus action a rage, and when he does that, his blade almost appears to catch on fire, but not quite. It's very subtle. And then he will move here and attack Bear.
All right. That definitely hits. Bear takes 13.
Was that,
Pain.
oh, that was bear? I
Radiant.
thought that was... Okay, Raynor. No,
Mm.
okay.
Some sort of holy
Both.
fight barbarian. I like it.
Yeah.
And that's your turn?
Yep.
All right, Shaylin.
Do we want to be using a lot of resources here? Like, do I want to use a second level spell or?
Dunno.
Mm,
If you are going to use resources, it's always better to front load them. So
yeah. Okay. You'd make a lot of sense. What's the range on this? Oh, it's massive. Okay. Yeah, okay. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Shaylin backs up to here behind Dolus, and I'll cast Scorching Ray on Bear. So this is 3 rolls. I'm going to use Ties of Chaos for the first one, so it has advantage.
All
And
right.
then roll those 3. I
Those
guess
are
the
2
middle
hits?
one misses. Yeah.
Yep.
So takes 22 fire damage. As
22
Shaylin
fire
lifts
damage.
up her hands and these rays of divine, horrible fire magic burst from her fingertips.
Do you guys see those
It's
rolls?
charged.
Roll
Good
2d6,
damage
Roll
rolls.
2d6. He rolls
Really
6,
good damage
5,
rolls.
5. Wow.
So, Winchi, you feel absolutely, like, wrapped up and constricted by this hulk of a man. He is gargantuan, and on top of being crushed, suddenly you start to feel extreme heat, followed almost immediately by this, like, release from your struggle. There are still arms attached to you, but if you, like, look to the top of the arm, there's just, like, nothing really there. There's like charred remains of something on the ground. Something very, very violent has just happened in front of you. And Romeo says,
Also,
"Bear! No!"
I then turn invisible for a minute as well
All right.
because of wild magic.
is that something that the DM
You have
decides?
to roll for
I thought I had to
spellcast.
roll
You have
it.
to roll a d20, and if you roll a 1, you roll on the wild magic table.
Oh,
You don't do it for every single spellcast.
I thought it was anything above. Okay, well, so I don't. All right, I'm not invisible.
But you do have Tides of Chaos consumed, and at some point I will give that back to
Yeah,
you, and you
okay,
will be
that's
rolling on the table. How do I...
This
Oh,
one doesn't
man.
like threats from that one.
He was just
Fair.
trying to like make a living
God.
in
Yeah,
the
well,
city.
Brutal.
That's
This one
true of
only
all of
wanted
us.
her necklace back.
Unbelievable. 20 gold. It's the price of a life. All right.
Not even. I mean, there's 3 lives
Well,
you're gonna be
cheap.
taking here.
Yep.
Heroes.
We heard your whole disclaimer. This is a
So-
dark world with dark actions,
Yeah.
and we're being bugged.
Romeo looks extremely distressed and becomes enraged. He's going to take 2 attacks on Wind Chi with advantage from Pack Tactics.
Okay.
How do we do this?
Is there another ally of his within 5 meters? Or is that? I can't remember. the
He'll
exact
step
wording.
1 to the right to be
Okay.
next to his friend.
He's stepping on the corpse of Bear.
Oh, there's just arms left apparently, and they're attached to you. So hypothetically,
The
that space
ashes
is
of
clear.
Bear.
Yeah.
I guess the arms were already a friend within 5 feet anyway. 22 hits.
That's true.
That's
All
great.
right.
Run the
So you take 3 bludgeoning damage, and Pointy sort of screams in terror and is going to disengage and run up the stairs. Out of sight, gets lost in the crowd.
Do I get a
Um,
free shot on her as she tries to leave?
She disengaged.
Oh no, she
did
disengaged.
disengage.
She did a real disengage, not just I disengaged. Okay.
You have Romeo completely surrounded, and at this point, I mean, you can kill him if you'd like, but he's going to drop his weapons, and another NPC is also going to show up out of the crowd of people who are running away from you.
What is the
to
NPC
address
that's
you.
showing up?
From the west, the way that you just came, you see a man dressed in religious regalia. He has a ceremonial warhammer with him. He's stout. He's a little bit distant, but he looks a little bit like a dwarf, maybe. Priestly, clerically, and he's yelling, "Stop! Stop this violence! Stop this violence, you maggots!"
Oh, for God's sake! So before we dig too much into that, can I chase her as she leaves?
Sure.
You can try.
All right. My
We
speed
are
is
going to
45.
So this is an urban chase, and there are rules for dealing with this in the module. I need you to roll a d20 as you attempt to chase.
I'm not going to get further than the top of the stairs. If I haven't, or at least I may pull that action by the time I see the top of the stairs.
Okay. So, well, on the way to the top of the stairs, I still need a d20. It looks vacant, but there's a lot of stuff in this
Sure. Well,
in this area.
so what I'm going to do is like nothing.
As you're running, this is sort of an ironic twist of fate, but a courier dinosaur happens to be like walking just out of a building as you're running, and you like as the dinosaur walks out, not looking right or left, you come this way. You need to make an acrobatics check to try to avoid just broadsiding this dinosaur. And that fails. So this isn't going to kill you or hurt you or anything, but it is going to slow you down a ton, and that's going to let Pointy basically get away. You like slam into a dinosaur, and all of a sudden you're trying to like slide underneath it and stuff and rolling through. You're agile enough that you're not in danger, but that's enough to slow you down, unfortunately.
All right. And can I, from wherever I ended up, still see that Juliet is up there? Is she numb with this? Is she still watching poor Romeo down there?
She's watching from safety. She's ready to slip into the crowd at any moment, and she's very comfortable in this environment. She does not feel threatened by you, really, but is pretty upset about Bear.
So
We
she's
still in combat?
behind cover.
She counts as having full cover in terms
Okay.
of rule mechanics from the rope bridges and the crowd. And
Are we
Okay.
still in combat?
you can be in combat if you want to take attack rolls on Romeo.
What is
there is an
Romeo doing?
NPC. He's like trying to drop his weapons and surrender.
Okay.
Where's the medallion that he was holding?
He's giving it to you.
I just mean, like, can I move around, or can I tell that Winchi wants to maybe get up to this other
You're
character
welcome.
associated with
Not
this
at this
person?
point. If nobody has time-sensitive stuff to do anymore. I mean, Julius not even trying to run away, so...
He's just completely surrendering. Yeah, okay.
Kevin, do you want to go up there?
I was trying to decide whether to run up the stairs and slip
I can
into
help you.
the crowd and is it worth it to us? We've already got somebody. Is it worth it to us to?
Let's not be hasty if we have somebody or not. Considering tearing
I
out his throat.
can give you a triple jump distance. So if you want to jump up there and chase after this person, I'm happy to help.
What's the height on that jump then? If I were going to jump up
Standing
there.
long jump. There are
No,
rules.
I mean, I've got some jump ability with my key. I might be able to just do it also.
I think she's about 45, 50 feet up.
Okay, so even the two of us might not be enough to get me up there, and it's a far enough fall that if I didn't make it, it would be unfortunate.
Well, whatever your jump is, I'm going to triple it. So that seems quite like a large number to me. But
Yeah.
Your jump strength base is the only issue, right? So you probably.
oh, is it?
Yeah, but I don't remember what it is for the rules. Nice.
When you make a high jump, number
Uh,
of feet, 3 times your strength, which is
plus.
3 plus your strength, right?
So standing high jump, you only jump half the distance. If you ran at it and then jumped, your strength is, I assume, -1.
0.
Oh, okay. So you have 3, and then you can triple it. Yeah, we're nowhere close.
So you can jump 9. God, this spell. Can I swap this spell? I thought it would be.
It would be more useful on Xilo, but probably not by a whole lot.
Well, and clearing chasms and stuff is better than a flat-footed high jump.
Mhm.
Like I could dunk with your help, but not do 45 feet.
I have
mean-
a +3 modifier, so I get 6. But even triple, it's still only fucking 18. That's nothing.
We have Romeo right here, though. Like, do we need
Yeah, I
to
was just
really,
trying to think.
like, grab his girl?
I
I
mean,
think I might.
I guess not. All right, so I'm not eating him. Do you do anything? Do any of you do anything to motion that we don't want him eaten?
Absolutely, yeah.
No.
I will. I'll put an arm between you and him, and I'm going to ignore this waddly guy who's coming up.
Yeah,
Foul
screw
mouth
that.
dwarf. Yeah.
Sounds like you get to eat Winchi's arm as well.
I was gonna say it does look like someone just presented that to me like on a platter, but
Yeah.
I will assume that that's not supposed to be for eating, and I will hold my attack then. Okay. All right.
We're out of combat, right?
So what does he say?
Yeah.
When he throws his stuff down.
What does Romeo say?
Yes.
I surrender. I'm just trying to make some money, man. I'm just trying to make some money. That was my friend.
I believe I warned you the outcome of your behavior.
Yeah. Most people talk a big game around here, but I'll give you props. You backed it up.
This one doesn't like threats, and that one likes to kill.
Yeah, I can tell.
I didn't even get a chance to fuck anybody up. I'm pretty disappointed.
Quiet though. Respect for Hamish, yeah? Hamish is walking through the crowd, and as he walks through the crowd, it's obvious that he's immensely respected in this area. Everyone recognizes him. They step back from him to let him pass. This is Hamish Hawkfoot, the cleric from the Grove. And
Apparently
he
wasn't very busy.
he's not actually. He lets out like a booming yell. Stop this violence, postulant maggots.
You learn from the best.
Devout follower.
This is more of Dolphin. I know this is not cool for also many inside jokes. This is more of Kevin's character, Thaddeus. He likes to call things maggots and toad lickers and stuff like this. So this is, anyways. So
Dolphin, you're about to be very involved in this.
Yeah, I
Um,
see him walking up. I kind of naturally I put my bow to the side, kind of lean on it a little bit, like almost pretend like I don't really know what's going on with the fight over there. But if I have to get involved, sure, maybe I know what's going on.
You're the one that he told me about. I see your aura. Incredible. 2 in 1 week. The auras of Thaddeus are strong at this time.
Thank you. Your aura is also very nice.
Oh, I wish. But I'll drop pretenses right now. The hammer's tin. The garb is just for show. I'm a washed-up cleric with no real claim to fame in life. But your aura glows. A man destined for greatness. Please, stop by my shrine at any time, and I will see to you are healed and restored, and continue through this ravine with my guidance and protection.
I appreciate you getting straight to the point. Could you be of any help right now, perhaps? If you're willing to be of more help at the shrine.
Romeo! Return their trinket. You know what I think about your business deals in this ravine. Please, let him go. He's a fool, no more.
What do you say, boys? I look over to the group.
Rainer's sword is still out and sort of pointed at Romeo, but upon Dolphin asking, he puts his sword away and sort of nods like, fine.
Oh dear Dollis, this one is no boy.
I'm going to poke Romeo in the chest and say, the Raven Queen takes us all. Watch your step, fool.
Oh, when she's a badass.
And he's doing this
Right.
while he's doing that. His hand is extended, and behind him is just literally me as a tiger, like waiting to like rip his throat out. So it's like I think the extra little oomph of what else is going on there too probably helps with that threat.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I like that.
Romeo will attempt to back away,
He's
apologizing.
giving our trinket back, right?
He has given the trinket back.
Good deal.
He gives you his mace as well. He drops his mace on the ground.
He's
That's
tithing.
it for me. I guess a real job. And he runs to the
Be a
top
monk.
of the stairs and
Be a monk. It's great. Baking is
Juliet
amazing.
disappears into the crowd.
All right.
Okay.
So, Hamish.
They're fools looking for an easy way out of an unsolvable problem. It's hard to blame them, but I have no sympathy for them either.
And Hamish, can you help us with our current endeavors? Your Aura friend has asked you for assistance. Do you have time to assist us?
I cannot leave the grove. It's a very sacred place. Do you understand the significance of the aura of Thaddeus?
Not in the least, and I even barely care, but please tell us.
They say that this ravine was actually unnaturally crafted. A lightning bolt from the heavens, from the Lord Moradin, cleaved the earth in two with such force that the ravine has been left there ever since. The grove of trees that I tend sprouted upon the ground which the bolt hit, and offers worshippers respite and healing. Trees have some inexplicable magic amongst them. Every now and then, somebody passes by with an unnatural glow that is only visible to the attuned. These people tend to be destined for greatness. They have preternatural skills and uncanny destinies. And this man among you is one of them.
Did you just say preternatural?
I did.
Yeah.
My friend, you have my respect. While not willing to leave the ravine, we're looking for a pouch merchant. And if you have influence, perhaps you could come with us?
Ah, yes, the pouch merchant, of course.
The red light district.
I can guide you.
And can you influence him to be forthcoming?
Oh, he's a very reasonable man. I'm sure I won't be necessary in that regard, but I'll make sure nobody troubles you on the rest of your way.
That's good, because these gentlemen seemed like they might be reasonable, and they weren't, and it upset you, I think, and would hate to upset you further.
There is much to be upset about in these times.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's welcome him to join us as we go pouch merchanting.
Hamish.
I think it's Hamish, isn't it?
Hamish. It's just
One
your
is-
hilarious
one is
name.
like a ham, and the other is a regular name. So, I mean, I guess you can go whichever way you want.
I like Hamish. Hamish is good.
I kind of like Hamish too, but
I feel like this character might be leading the people from Mirabar. I don't know why.
All right, I'm gonna follow, but I'm not changing back into lizard form. I'm just going
Yeah.
to walk as an enormous tiger.
Right.
I will try to not be. I will try to be stealthy about it. But if this is a hugely busy area, I have no expectation of that being successful. I'll just kind of slink along near the party.
I think Rainer will kind of walk with the cat, almost in like a sort of possession type way, just so that people don't freak out over it.
Yeah, and you're kind of
So-
like a large, scantily clad
Right.
man who looks like a
Right.
circus performance in some degree.
Yeah. Okay. I'm good with that.
I'm kind of walking along towards the middle, not too far from Hamish, because frankly, all of his talk about the aura just freaks me out, and I don't believe him at all. But at the same time, I'm very impressed with how straightforward he is and all of his things. And for example, the fact that he's able to have the tin hammer still come across so impressively. There's some part of that Dolist almost admires. So he definitely is curious about this character and not letting him too far out of eyesight.
So,
while we talk, I'd like to actually hear if there's any more details about the Grove, because that's pretty darn impressive. If this is like legit magic and legit like auras and stuff, and not just like kooky ravings, I'd like to learn more.
I want to make insight checks when this guy talks. I can't communicate anything back to the party, but I just want to know for my own sake. So
Sure.
when he was spinning his shit about auras, can I just have done that?
If anyone like is looking at us strangely or looking at us as if like something's different, I'm going to use like minor illusion or prestidigitation to kind of maybe try and distract their attention with some sparks or magical effects, or kind of make us look a little bit more circusy, you know, with the tiger theme
Do you
and the
wanna
big
give me,
barbarian guy.
Like a minor
Yeah,
illusion
sure. I
collar?
can. You know, I might put a collar around the tiger, or I might make some strange things pop off of Rainer as he's walking and looking at people, and just to kind of give the idea that we look even more bizarre.
Inconspicuously entering the underworld. I like it.
It's celebratory.
Do I get a sense of that at all, Steve?
with 22 insight,
Yeah.
he seems extremely straight and level. There
So-
isn't anything deceptive. I mean, he had deception about him when he had the hammer and the religious garb, and he threw that off.
Do I
He's
get a
being
sense of his mental
completely
well-being by
open.
the way he speaks? Is it perhaps that he believes it but is not actually all there?
He seems like a man immensely dedicated to this community and to his grove. He doesn't seem like he understands much about the rest of the world, but he seems at home here, and everything he's saying makes sense to him.
Okay.
And so, does he have any additional information about the Grove or his calling or any of that stuff that adds a little more depth that we can understand?
The grove has stood for hundreds of years. The tale goes that a hero by the name of Thaddeus was a chosen of Moradin and fought off the forces of evil north, south, east, and west across the world. this was the site of a great battle where Moradin came to his side. And the effect has left a mark on the terrain. The grove is beautiful and magical. 4 mystical trees grow there taller than they should be by any regard. They have lived for as long as anyone can remember, and I tend to them.
That's beautiful. Hail Thaddeus.
Hail Thaddeus, indeed.
Sounds like quite the guy.
Yeah.
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 You might meet him later.
Glossing over some details.
History has a way of doing that.
So, this guy who sells like sacks, right?
Yep,
Where
so
we're going.
you get to his shop. You're now going down a dead-end street, so traffic starts to drop off pretty quickly. It's more sparse. You get to the door. There's a big sign, says no shoes, no shirt, no service, no cats, no dogs, no dinosaurs, no fucking tigers.
I ignore the sign and walk in.
All right, and you're inside the store. Yeah, let's see if I can get you guys inside.
Like, I mean, no tigers or no fucking of tigers?
Yeah.
Both, probably both.
Sorry.
Well,
All right, you have your tokens here. Some of you are like standing in the wall. Sorry about that. But this is a store. Here's the front
You gotta
door.
move us.
Oh, I'm moving.
Yeah, we still see the street.
you gotta grab
Ah.
the ribbon.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, beautiful.
So here's our front door. Walking into the store, you've got your racks of satchels. Satchels are lining the walls. Satchels are hung on racks. There's a counter in front of you where an old man smiles at you and greets you and looks a little bit concerned at the tiger, but sees Hamish and figures it must be okay. There are 2 doors in the back wall. One of them is labeled bathroom. Yeah, this is the satchel shop.
So as we go in, I'm going to
You see that the satchels look very much like the satchel that you found at the racing track.
I'll gently pat the tiger and say, "Look, Scaly One, we can get a bag for all your meaty ones so you can eat."
I begin chewing. Are there any bags low to the ground? I assume they're like leather, right?
Please, if the tiger could be tied up outside or at least tended to properly inside,
I look straight
that would
at
be
him
great.
and growl.
I am no trainer of wild animals. I merely run a shop.
Oh, do not worry, my friend. This one is the friend of mine and is no real threat to you. In fact, it's not even a tiger one. It is a lizard one. And a
That's
magic one.
excellent, but this is not a restaurant. This is a place where I sell satchels, which I spend a long time making to
Noisily
feed myself.
chewing on it.
Speaking of satchels, and I'm going to basically just try and distract him away from the tiger as I come up to the counter and go, "Could you tell me about this one?" And I place it on the counter.
Oh, yes, this is one of mine. I couldn't tell you much more than that, though. It's a
Oh,
satchel. I sell dozens every day. Well,
This one knows that you mark these bags with symbols of ownership, perhaps, and this one would love to meet the owner of that one, and she points to the bag, as it is very important. I must meet with this person. They are a friend, I believe.
I'm gonna kind of snap my fingers and waggle Hamish over if I can get old Hamish to intervene and loosen this guy's lips a little.
He is meat themed. I'll give him that.
Right.
well, you're right. There's a symbol, but all the bags have symbols. Anyone can buy them. I'm not in charge of that.
Oh, okay. I thought it was that.
I like
Okay.
to roll insight.
Yeah, can we see if that's true?
I mean, he could tell you more, but he cares a lot more about people other than you fucking him up than he cares about you fucking him up.
Okay.
So he's not going to.
Perhaps this one can make a deal with you.
Hamish is gonna walk over and give him 3 gold for the satchel that you just ate, Filthy.
It's fine.
A deal? I'm happy to tell you everything that I know. This is a satchel. It is one of mine. I make large and small satchels. The large ones sell for 3 gold each, the small for 1.5 gold. Some of them have secret pouches. Some of them do not. Looks like this one does. I have heard that they're sometimes used by clandestine organizations, but I have no business with them. I merely make the satchels, and by the time a customer has left my doors, I try to forget everything about him, to be honest.
When he claims
don't want anything to do with that world.
When he claims that he's not having anything to do with that world, can I just insight check again? I just rolled for it.
He is trying very hard not to have anything to do with that world.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Well, it seems like he. Just kind of thinking to myself, it seems like he knows. Obviously, he just doesn't really want to die, and who can blame him? So there's probably 2 things we can do. We can probably make him think he's going to die right now, and try to get the information out of him. Is there any evidence anywhere that he keeps receipts, at least on the desk there? Because I know there is another door. But is there any evidence on the desk right now or anything that he would be writing down information about purchases?
There's a place for exchanging gold. He has some notes to himself, but you don't see official receipt taking.
You could buy a satchel and see what he does, Dolphin.
Yeah.
Did he do anything when Ham bought the satchel?
Oh, there you go.
That's a good point.
No, he just took the gold.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just have a little aside with Hamish there and ask whether he has any magical means or knows anyone with the magical means to trace the ownership of an object.
Magical means to trace the ownership of an object. That's wizardry, which I'm afraid is beyond me. I tend my grove, but much more than that is not my domain.
So is there a wizard within the ravine that you would refer us to that would have the ability to do that?
There are wizards throughout the port, but there is no one place where... I don't know. I'm sorry.
Hamish.
I feel like maybe if we make this person know that there are now their goods are associated with the murder of something prominent to a city that he's living in, maybe that might give him the idea to give us some information, perhaps.
Sort of intimidate him.
Well, he's implicated in murders and... yeah.
No one wants something like that leading back to their business, right? I guess.
True.
Yeah. Would
Even
you
if it's
like
not
to
his
do that,
direct...
or do you want me to do that? Or I suppose somebody
If
else.
we're going to try and intimidate him, my character isn't for that. If we're going to persuade him or lie to him, that's what my character will do.
I was going to chat. I wasn't going to do either one of those. So
I
go
feel
ahead.
like
Do persuasion. Sure.
Do we know his name? Did he introduce himself?
His name is Abwale Kapane.
Of course
He's
it
a
is.
Chultan native.
I'll call him Meat for short, but that's just internally.
Friendly one, please. These ones, and in fact, even you are maybe in terrible, terrible danger. This satchel was linked to the murder of the dino ones, the racing ones. You must empathize that they are such value to the city, and we must find the person who did this. For your ones and these ones will be in grave danger of perhaps losing their livelihood, and your business may go to ruin, sir.
Can you give a persuasion?
Yeah.
I respect your struggle, but I also I live every day in danger, to be honest. You surely know that the ravine is not the safest place to live. Thugs could attack my store at any time. I do my best to sell people the stuff they need and stay out of their way. And so far, everyone does good for me.
It's a shame about the future loss of revenue and closure of your business, then. That is unfortunate.
Good cop, bad cop.
I'm going to, as Kevin says that, I'm going to. I assume these are kind of like on stands and whatnot. Like his wares are like. I'm gonna knock a couple of those over to make room to kind of sit down and like lie in the corner. So there's just like pieces of his shop coming apart around him as he's hearing that speech.
He looks very upset, but he looks completely out of his element. He can't fight you guys, and he's fucked if he tells you.
Do we have...
So we have to convince him that he's more fucked if he does not tell us.
What would it take to give you sufficient protection that you felt able to share at least a direction for us to head? No names, perhaps, but enough information so that we could figure it out and you would still be safe.
Can you explain why it is so important to him, or to you? Explain why it is so important to you, to him. I guess he could ask that, but I did it in my voice instead.
I thought that Shaylin just did that, the death. All right, so here's the deal. We have invested every bit of our combined resources, somewhat like this shop. Imagine how you would feel.
Shelf.
Imagine how you would feel if suddenly, out of your control and with nothing you could do about it, everything you had built and everything you had saved for was suddenly ripped from your grasp. That's what happened to us this morning. Our entire future was tied up in this livelihood, in this dinosaur venture, and we lost all of that, and our only thread to pull on is this sack, and you're the next knot in that thread. And so imagine our pain as we pull on that thread and find out it's going to break and we can't go forward.
You guys ever seen a dog like going for the marrow of a bone? Like it puts the bone between its like two paws and then it like chews or... I do that with one of his satchel, and I get, as he's saying about the thread that did this, I actually get a thread of leather and rip it as he's saying that.
He winces. He doesn't look you in the eye, but he whispers something to Hamish. And Hamish sort of nods in understanding and says, "Come, friends, we should go. I believe I can help you."
Can you hear what he said?
Did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
Roll a
Yeah.
perception.
All of us, I think, are interested in that. So
I'm standing right beside Hamish. I'm going to have a roll too.
You heard something about the grove, and somebody would know something. If shown the bag, like it was a lead. He was giving you a lead. He was telling Hamish to lead.
But it was a discreet enough lead that we can't make anything of it on our own.
It was a discreet enough lead that he's hoping it doesn't come back to him.
Right.
I'm giving you that for your earlier big insights.
Right.
cool.
I'm going to say we appreciate your help and your recognition of the pain that we're in. Should you have any trouble with your livelihood, make sure you get in contact with us so we can help you resolve your problems the way you maybe have helped us resolve ours. And imply that I am indebted to him and would help him if he were for instance, bullied by Romeo or something.
And all things equal, Hamish has paid for the bag I've eaten, and we've only knocked things over, and I haven't eaten any other ones. So he's come out of this with just a couple things knocked down in his shop, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
But he has risked his life, and I'm willing to repay that in some way if it came back to roost.
Sure.
And when the cat gets off of the sort of knocked over things, then Rainer will lift them back up.
Okay.
Kind of put one or two satchels back on the different tables and everything on the way out, wave at them a little nervously.
Pat them, wipe them on your tunic, sit
How
them
old's
up.
this guy?
How old is he? He's looking like he should be retired by now, but he's still working.
So Shaylin just kind of waves her hand gently as they all walk out the shop. Goodbye, aged one. I hope you last the day.
Just brimming with confidence.
Right?
He looks
intimidate this guy.
emotionlessly at the door. He looks like somebody who works in retail.
I feel like we're
8 hours a
walking through a
day
trope now.
and has
that
just had
adventurers
terrible
are
customers.
assholes.
Yeah.
And
Just
kick down the door.
the absolute dead face, like no more emotion or feeling. Life is not worth living.
Sure.
All right, you're heading out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Hamish will explain to you that he said, Hamish mentioned but didn't explain fully. There was another adventurer with the aura of Thaddeus, who is currently at the Grove. Stopped by this week, and the shopkeeper has said that he would have some information about what's going on here.
Okay, so we go to the Grove now and show the bag to some other person.
All right.
Is that what he's?
So yeah,
What
with
is
Hamish,
this other aura person's name?
he is the Grung warrior Wadumu.
Gron warrior? Is that like
Grung.
a
The Grung are frog people.
The
Basically.
adamant correction of that was so beautiful. For such a bizarre set of names, you're like, absolutely not Grond. It's Grung. Of course.
Yeah.
Some
Grung.
things are important.
Sure.
Some
Fine.
Okay, so
things are
what is a grung?
A Grung is like a frog person.
Frog person. Okay, so a frog person warrior
Yes.
with
Yep.
the aura of Thaddeus
Needs to see this bag.
needs to see this bag.
The
All right.
Grung are typically like very stupid. They're not very strong. They're not very ambitious. So seeing a Grung adventurer, like a Grung warrior, would be about as out of place as seeing a halfling adventurer.
Is it too late for me to go eat some dinosaur and hope it kills me?
All right, guys, and with that gem, I think this is probably a good time to cut the part. So thank you very much for watching. We'll see you shortly. See if my hotkey works this time. No, of course not. All right, OBS, why randomly change your mind?